Well, guys, we got a couple of mysterious things happening, I guess. One with a leak or two that I'm pretty sure nothing's going to come from, not to already rain on the parade, but I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen. But there are some mysterious leaks. And then also, secondly, the market's been very mysterious so far, as it's gone down randomly and then up all of a sudden when there's not really more gameplay demand. Just weird stuff going on this year so far. And we'll talk about kind of why that's happening. And I think people just don't really know what to do right now who are market savvy. And also, there's been some rewards controversy as Squad Battles rewards came out and people were like, wow, these weren't that good. And we'll talk about that too. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the top of the description. They're the safest and the cheapest option, and you can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. But of course, as always, thank you guys for joining and being here today. On stream today, we're actually planning on trying out like 40 or 50 different cards today on stream, so we can try and make a video in the next couple of days here of like the best cheap attackers, basically. So we're gonna do that on stream today. We're gonna have like a whole list of ratings out of 10. And I think tomorrow you guys are also gonna see the custom tactics video. That might be, yeah, they're probably like 24 hours from now or so. You'll probably see that video too. So anyway, self-promotion done. Subscribe if you are new. And let's get into, first of all, we got some flashback, or not flashback, sorry, showdown SBCs today. Pepe and Berchiche. And Pepe definitely looks like the better of the two. We saw these cards leaked already. It's gonna be a very nice card. I think pace is super duper important this year. He's got right mid inside forward plus plus, and then right wing inside forward plus, which right now is pretty good for this time of the year. So I would recommend doing that card for sure here. Now let's get on to the first thing. And the first thing is Squad Battles rewards came out, and there was a bit of the market movement like we thought we would see, honestly. Some stuff went down and then went back up, kind of rebounding pretty quickly. So it's good to see that kind of going like we thought it would. And also consumable prices with these rewards we'll go and talk about in the market part of the video, because I know that I've gotten some questions about those in the streams. We've talked about them for a while. So people got to Elite in like Elite 3, Elite 2, Elite 1, and people were like, yeah, if you got unlucky in your pack, you like made 15k, right? 10,000 coins at 12 by 75, you get 81s and lower, it's all discard basically, and you make 15k for getting Elite 2. And honestly, whether or not that is enough or not, the biggest thing here is this year it's going to be less. Like, you have to expect this. If we want to actually have a healthier balance of the market, like, we're going to have less rewards and stuff like that. There's no way around that. However, it's all about how it ties into the rest of the game, right? Because if we have a lot worse rewards, but the store packs are the exact same, all of them, as they were last year, tradable wise, we're talking here, right? Say next week for the first promo, which is Cornerstones, right? Say we end up getting a 250,000 coin pack here. It's tradable. It's like an 8310 tradable or something like that. You can open one time, or say it's like 500k pack that's like 2,500 FC points. If we have these in the game with also the bad rewards, then we're fucked. Like, then at that point, there is no balancing all around here. Like, they have to be a little bit lower with the store packs. They have to be. I think right now these store packs are not the end of the world and stuff, but if it gets like incrementally bigger really soon, then we're gonna be sitting here saying if you spend FC points, you are just at a massive advantage, like massive advantage. And same thing with rivals rewards coming up here in not too long, right? Coming up on, well, I guess it's still a ways away, Wednesday night, but most of us will be in like Div 6, Div 7, something like this, right? Division 7 rewards right now are not that great. I mean, they're 5,500 coins, guys. You can't see it, which I apologize for. I got a big head, I know. The most guaranteed coins you're going to see here is 25k in Elite Division. And that is it. It's going to be a lot down to pack luck this year. And right now, you only have option 1, which I think that's glitched out, so it's only untradeable, which I think is not going to be the case. But yeah, coins are going to be hard to come by, and we want them to be harder to come by. To what level? I think we have to wait and see. It could be a pretty bad level here, or it might end up being what we kind of needed. I think we have to give it like a couple of weeks to see how this plays out, like a full set of rivals rewards, a full set of weekend league rewards, and squad battles rewards. Like, all these modes will add up, plus like friendlies and objectives and stuff like that. So these modes will add up. That's a lot of games to play, right? So it's a tough balance, but I definitely understand people saying like, wow, these aren't very good. I think, yeah, like I am a little worried about that. I honestly am, but we probably have to let it play out for like at least a couple weeks and just see how everything looks. And then if it's, you know, completely fucked, then we need to call out that it's completely fucked, right? But shadows right now are up to 3,800 coins, and that is nice because they went down like a couple hundred for squad battles rewards, and that was it. They basically didn't go down at all. So I still think one of the best investments of the year coming up will be on release night for the full release, buying shadows. There's no way it's not to me. It's going to be an amazing investment. But what do you guys think about the the rewards and the reward structure? Is it just better balanced this way, or is it significantly worse and we're all screwed? Let me know in the comments. But okay, let's move on here to Fut Reveal, who says, very weird. In the FC26 code, we found ones to watch content, ones to watch balls, ones to watch shirts, and even a ones to watch pack. Did EA just forget to remove this from the files, or are we in for a huge surprise soon with eye emoji, fire emoji? And here is the concept right here. The thing with this is I want to say Fut Reveal was a part of the leakers who had the wrong ratings leaked really early on this year. And also there's this random guy named Fut Judge here, right? So Fut Judge FC26 leaks must have just rebranded from something, because I don't know where he came from. He's on my leaks tab here. I added like a bunch of pages to this leaks tab I now have on Twitter. So this was somebody who had leaks that now changed. I think one of the reasons that he changed was because I think he's probably was peddling some sort of wrong leak. Was it the ratings? Maybe, possibly. Now there's a rebrand. Fut Reveal's done a rebrand recently as well. Fut Latest, remember Fut Latest? That was a page that does not exist anymore. So it was probably one of these guys. If I had to guess, Fut Latest turned into one of these guys, and Fut Latest was the biggest proponent of those new ratings that were leaked, and they were mostly incorrect. Like, they just were not correct. So anyway, the point is here, this tweet was actually doing a lot of numbers, and I think that this might even be true. There might be ones to watch stuff in the code going back or whatever, but this tweet was made for engagement. This wasn't actually, I don't think, any sort of prediction it's gonna come out, or like it was canceled this year or something like that. This just, they thought it probably could get some engagement, and it did, right? So I think that this probably just leftover shit, and it doesn't mean anything. Or I guess I could be wrong here, and there's a lot of ones to watch stuff, and maybe we'll look out for that at some point, but I don't see why they would ever release this promo not as the first promo of the year. It doesn't make any sense. But okay, next up here, we do have the Cornerstones promo. It is coming out this Friday, so that was just confirmed, I think, yesterday from AC. And these aren't leaks here, they're just concept images of cards that could be in here, but we'll see leaks as the week goes on here. I think the theme of the promo is like cornerstones for teams, so probably players who've been around the same team for a long time. Will Heung-Min Son at LAFC get a card here? You know, probably not, but I guess we never know. But yes, it was a question whether there will be like a week of also no promo when the actual game comes out, not the early access, but it looks like there was just no promo in the early access week, and then we will have a promo the first Friday of the full release week. And next up here, just a gameplay check-in. You know, how are you guys liking it so far as we get a few more days in now? Are you noticing more things that you like, more things you dislike? Is there both? Is the game terrible? Is it the best FIFA in the last 5 years? You know, let me know in the comments what you guys think. The Twitter consensus and Reddit consensus is like better, but not amazing. That's kind of what it feels like right now. And okay, next up here, I'm assuming the next promo after the Cornerstones promo will be the Ratings Reload promo, and that's the one with the upgrades to fairer ratings or whatever based on a community feedback. So the premise of this promo is odd, obviously, because EA get to pick the ratings. So it's like you picked them, what, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago you finalized them, and it's like, oh well, here are the wrong ones according to you. I don't hate it though, it's just kind of weird, right? Foden being here is a little strange as well, but yeah, I don't know if this is the card design or not either. They don't say here, but I'm going to assume that it will be the next promo after will be this one. We start the year off with 2 original promos, which I appreciate that. And then we have Scream coming up in a month, probably right about a month from now, and that's also original, so it's 3 original promos of the first 4 probably, which I guess that's something. And also, guys, tell me what your coin total is right now. I'd like to see what your like exact coin total is, including what you have in your club and your team, obviously, so combining all of that, but I am curious what your guys' coin total is right now. Sorry guys, I might have actually cut out my sentence here. My mic was cutting out, so I had to re-record this market section. But one of the biggest mysteries also with the market recently has been that the traders have not really known fully what to do, or many of them haven't, because the market's been fluctuating kind of at odd times over the last about couple days here. Squad battles rewards was very predictable. It went down after rewards, went back up a couple hours later. Like, that's how rewards always work. But we had a couple weird weekend days here where things were dipping out of nowhere, when it seems like usually the first weekend the market just does really, really well, and then it gets to about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the first week, and then boom, that's when that first kind of initial crash starts to hit. It gradually goes down. But Pakelme sums it up really, really well here, and actually the 100k packs did mess with the market. Like, I think it really did. Pakelme just simply said it was too much supply, because right now Nitro Footy, who's a great trader, by the way, he was like telling you to buy the dip, and it was Konate at 60k, and he's lower than this now. It's like 52,000, right? Pakelme just says simply too much supply. The market never recovered because everyone invested super early, then tried to resell right away on top of everyone packing cards, and there was not enough actual demand to keep the market rising into today. Biggest thing being there's no weekend league. People probably have their rivals points already. The cup, people probably finished already too. The gameplay demand wasn't really there this weekend, and that Konate is probably likely to be lower around 50 from supply today, and he was exactly right. He's like 50k right now. So I think this weekend's market was is a bit different than what we're probably going to see for the most of the year. I think this market's going to be a lot more stable still than in the previous years, but I do still think this week will be the slow decline of these cards, right? You're probably not going to want to hang on to your 80 Rashford for much longer. It might be a little bit longer of a drop than it took, you know, last year or 2 years ago, but it's going to be pretty quick to me. Just over the course of this week, I would expect this, and I think we go into it a little bit here when I go back to my old clip. We're talking about buying icons. That's like one of the better cards to buy right now, are the more expensive, rarer cards. Those are always the best cards to buy. Save up to go and buy that tier of card. I think, to put it simply, the market's probably going to slowly go down until we get to the first weekend league. I think the first weekend league would have a lot of demand here, but probably not for like the Rashfords. I think we're going to see some graduation past this. I would expect to see by weekend league 1. So the Rashford Ekitike group, I do think they will drop a bit. You don't have to panic sell these guys, I don't think. I think the gameplay demand is just going to increase, keep in mind. But these lower rated cards, whatever EA drops in store packs, are going to be just mad supplied. So we got to keep that in mind here. We don't know what EA can drop with the supply. Rivals rewards shouldn't be that bad because they're just not that good. So really, in theory, you should actually be pretty okay to hold on to cards right now. But you never know when 500k packs come out and EA kill your Rashford. Like, it just could happen at any time. So I'm just going to, for me, I'm going to try an icon trade. I'm going to tell you how to icon trade at some point. I might talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, that's my brief thoughts on the market at the moment. And so with that in mind, I've had a lot of people ask about, okay, well, what cards are pretty safe right now? And the cards you want to buy right now are the rare cards, which to me are the icons, and they're doing so well. Like, I can already tell right now the icon market is like exactly what it was in FIFA 19. We'll find you guys. Oh yeah, Marco van Basten, actually. Here's a really good example of this. So a card that's not like that insane, right? But he's 91 rated. He's a rarer icon. Icons are already rare. He's even rarer. But look at what his price has done. It's actually gone up. He was, yes, at the mid threes when I saw him one day. I think 2 days ago. Yep, he was 350 2 days ago. He's up to 400, and he was at 450 at one point. 470 we got a sale at right there. We are fully back into like the FIFA 19 market, which is going to be this. The rarer cards are not only great buys, they're good investments, which is something that you've not had recently. Previous years, you want to buy your team. How do I lose the least amount of coins that I possibly can? Right now, you can actually buy a team and have them go up over time. It's kind of insane. And ideally, you'd want to grab a guy who's probably going to be in the power curve a little bit longer than Marco van Basten. And you probably can do that for 500k right now if I had to guess. Let's go check that out. Go to icon rarity. Let's go to somebody who's maybe a little bit lower down here, but will be in the power curve for a while. Roberto Baggio, 556, right? Technical plus is like really, really overpowered, it seems like right now. Let's go to the last page and try and find somebody. Somebody who's like maybe 400k. Zambrata's 515. Now, these are bigger budget guys here, but these are going to be the cards that you buy that aren't going to lose value very quickly. Sure, Zambrata and Essien over the course of 4 weeks are going to go down in price, but they're going to be so much more stable for you to use for a while, sell it on. You could make a profit with them. And then trading, I'm going to make a tutorial on how to icon trade at some point. It's very, very easy. It's like one of the easiest ways to make a lot of coins by just knowing like one effective way to trade. And if you do that, you don't need to do anything else really. Icon trading hasn't really worked the last couple of years because they just go down in value from the start, right? That's what happened in 23, 24, and 25. It's just like Schweinsteiger comes out. He never reaches higher than his first day price. But now there should be way more ebbs and flows of prices here. So that's what's kind of exciting. And okay, let's read some of your comments now. We got Brutta, who says, nice touch with the stream clip, which by the way, we're going to do that more often here for random times as reaction worthy stuff, because the feedback was pretty positive on that. But he says, what are we expecting from EA? They are a business. Their main objective is to make money, and the only way they can is selling FC points. And now they have a perfect scenario, which is high value gold cards, which motivate people to buy the tradable packs. And this is the problem with what we have right now, is that there's two things that can be true at one time. Cross it off your bingo card, is that sometimes high value gold cards, which in turn really helps with tradable store packs, does just help the health of the market and the game in general. Like, it does help. There is something to be said for needing an element of rarity in the game. Like, some, and a very select few, but some cards maybe should be pretty hard to get. However, you have the other end of the spectrum where if things are way too hard, people are just going to give up. So what's that balance look like? I think there's going to be a really, really weird transition phase this year where, because we're getting less coins and less rewards, it's going to feel very weird for a little while. I think we probably can't make any judgments for like a couple of weeks at least to see how many coins we all have by that point and what our teams look like. Because you know when you see those clips of like December teams or January teams and it's like mostly gold cards still, the way that happens is have a really wide variety of price because you're working up towards something all the time. You're forgetting like during that whole time, all the time in September, October, November, you're working towards that team. So a better way to think about it is how fast are you going to earn things compared to calling it the power curve, because the power curve is so like all encompassing, it's hard to like break it down. But how fast do you earn things and how long long do you have something is kind of what we're all trying to figure out, and what's the best way to go about doing that. I think we all know it needs to change, but the way that that almost has to change is cards have to be either more expensive or there needs to be less promos, which there's not going to be. There's no way. It's impossible. So we have a good amount of promos right now. Then what do we do? Well, we probably have to nerf some rewards. But then the issue then is if store packs are too good, then we're like the common player, the free-to-play player is fucked. So we don't know what this is going to look like. And obviously, if it's really bad, we're going to say it's really bad. But I just think that we kind of got to give it like a 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month to just see what the game looks like after that, because we all can agree I think we need to go back to something, but what do we need to go back to? I don't know. I don't know even the answer to that myself. I just am thinking out loud. I don't know what you guys think about any of that. I made a post about Tati and how like much I love him and he's so insane in game. Are you guys satisfied so far after a couple days with your pre-order player? Your Seegers, your Gerards, your Cruces, your CCs. Are you satisfied with your pre-order player? And tell me what player you got and actually have you enjoyed them? I'm curious your Cruces. Like, do you like your Cruces? Do you like your Gerards? Is he better than you thought? Is he just bad? Is he mid? Right? Is he the middest of the mid? But yeah, once again, live today, maybe like in about an hour for content, I want to say. It'll be scheduled. You'll see it, but I love you all. So, peace.